It is Monday, April 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is Admissions Live. Thank you for taking the time out today from frantically doing your taxes or reading Game of Thrones spoilers to tune into our show today. I am Kristen Gowan, Director of Digital Strategy here at Union College, and on today's live broadcast, we're going to be talking about the Reach Higher movement. Admissions Live is part of the Higher Ed Live network. All of our episodes offer you direct access to the best and brightest minds in education. Be a part of our broadcast by sharing your knowledge and participate in today's discussion by tweeting us using hashtag HigherEdLive. Today's live broadcast is powered by Platform Q Education's Conduit online engagement platform. Learn how to integrate continuous online engagement into your marketing and enrollment plans using Conduit by visiting platformqedu.com. All of our episodes are recorded and they're free and easy to access in the video archives at higheredlive.com, or take Higher Ed Live with you on the go by subscribing to the podcast. Higher Ed Live is produced by M. Stoner, a digital-first agency committed to tailored solutions that drive real results. 2 rows of navigation, a carousel, 3 news items, 3 events, 3 alumni profiles, a social media aggregator, and a fat footer. Look familiar? Ever hear someone say that you could take the logo off your website and it would look like every other institution's out there? If you're cringing or laughing nervously, this free M. Stoner webinar on Wednesday, April 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific is for you. We'll arm you with the tools you need to make your next website redesign, starting with your homepage, distinct and compelling. We'll be tweeting out a link to the registration page to the webinar shortly. So now to welcome my guest. In 2014, then First Lady Michelle Obama launched the Reach Higher initiative to inspire every student, especially first generation and low income students, to take charge of their future and complete an education past high school. Higher Ed Live is proud to support this initiative from the start. Now in its 5th year, the Reach Higher program is helping students navigate the college-going process by reaching students where they are at and celebrating their success on social media through flagship events like College Signing Day, raising awareness about helpful college access tools like FAFSA and UpNext resources, and enhancing student support systems by building the capacity of the school counseling profession. My guest today is Eric Waldo, Executive Director of the Reach Higher Initiative. His role cuts across policy, advocacy, and community engagement to further the goals that the U.S. once again leads the world in terms of college graduates. Waldo now runs Reach Higher out of the nonprofit membership organization, the Common Application, where he also serves as the Chief Access Equity Officer. So welcome, Eric. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kristen. I'm so excited to be here today and to speak to your audience at Higher Ed Live.
Yeah, awesome. And we also want to encourage our folks at home to use the hashtag Higher Ed Live to ask their own questions. And I'm going to start first with a few of my own. For the listeners who aren't familiar, can you just share more info about Reach Higher and where you guys are in the 5th year?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Reach Higher in its 5th year is as strong as it's ever been. Again, as you mentioned in your introduction, it was really exciting when we started out of the White House. Mrs. Obama, building on her own experience as a first-generation college graduate, decided that she wanted to inspire more young people to pursue their education past high school, whether it's a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree, a certificate, a credential, but some education past high school has to be the goal for every young person. And the exciting news is when we left the White House, Mrs. Obama was determined to continue this work. So we moved it into a nonprofit. We're currently housed over at the Common Application, and we're fighting even harder today than ever to make sure young people believe in themselves, have the tools they need, and the inspiration that we know is sometimes lacking to make sure they understand how to navigate the college-going process. I like to say that Mrs. Obama is the school counselor-in-chief for the entire country, and it's been really exciting for us to continue this work and to expand it now. So we're really thrilled that Reach Higher is still around 5 years later, and that traditions like College Signing Day are here and stronger than ever.
So what have you heard from students kind of in talking to them about the college process where they thought maybe this wasn't something that was attainable to them, and now through her work and through your work, being able to see that? What are you hearing from students day to day about your initiative?
I think number one is I'm always inspired talking to young people, and I'll think, we have to be very honest about what the data says and then what we have to do about it. Number one, today, if you're a bottom income quartile student, you've got a 9% or so 6-year college graduation rate. That's compared to about 77% for upper income quartile peers. So right now, unfortunately, your income, your zip code is too determinative of your outcomes. So we at Reach Higher are really working hard to try to change those stats, those equations. And so when we talk to young people, number one is they oftentimes have come from a school, a community, a household, or just a broader sense of where they don't think college and college going is the expectation. So number one is we can change those expectations and effects by doing moments like College Signing Day, by celebrating college going culture, by raising our expectations for young people. And when we do so, we find that students have that same desire to attend. They understand that college is important. But what we have to do is reduce the barriers that are keeping students from attending. That means making it easier to fill out financial aid forms like the FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, making it easier for students to make a college selection, make it easier for them to apply to school and not feel like the deck is stacked against them, and actually making it easier for folks like school counselors, who I think are just the true foot soldiers in our college access war. They are the ones that we need to empower and not disempower when it comes to making it easier for young people to believe in themselves and to really create that college going culture.
So in year 5 now, I know that you guys are always looking to keep it new and fresh. What is new this year and what's coming up for you guys on May 1st as that approaches?
Great. So terrific question. I think what's new this year, number one, is as part of our 5-year anniversary, we want to show young people and show the country and really the world just how serious we are about this college going movement. So number one, to do that, we need to show people that there's true enthusiasm for this moment, for this event, and for truly celebrating young people who are committing to college. So number one, since May 1st, the deadline for high school seniors to let colleges know where we are encouraging folks to celebrate on May 1st. We know that you may be hosting your event at a different date, but first thing you want to do is actually go to www.bettermakeroom.org/college signing day. And we want you to sign up. We want you to download our toolkit. And if you download that toolkit, you'll see all the different ways you can engage. Number one is we are making sure that students have up to $100,000 in microgrants for schools and for communities to host College Signing Day through Donors Choose. So please sign up for that. Number two is it's actually as simple as you can imagine. I'm wearing my Brown University gear today, and that's because one of the things that we know is critical in trying to build that college-going culture and create a really winning signing day is it's not just the students who are going to come in and wear a college shirt, print out a college pennant, or do something creative. We actually want the adults in the community to celebrate as well. So whether you're posting on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, whatever you're doing, creating an authentic moment to celebrate students, tagging at Reach Higher, posting with hashtag College Signing Day and hashtag Better Make Room. When you do that, but when you also post your own selfie, I'm going to be talking about my experience at Brown on College Signing Day. When you do those moments, I think it actually helps young people understand the linkages between your own education and your own success in the future. And the more young people can see that and you can build those conversations and build that culture, we're creating then a deeper web, a deeper tapestry of how higher education is weaving this country together and is ultimately a critical ladder of success that everyone needs to climb if they want to be successful in this country.
That's awesome. So how can university partners get along? I personally will be tweeting about College Signing Day on May 1st, but what can I do to get involved, say here at Union or at other institutions? What can we all do to get involved in the day?
Great. So again, a couple of things. Number one, you should be checking out at Reach Higher and at Better Make Room online just to see what we're doing. Mrs. Obama will be hosting an event at Pauley Pavilion at UCLA on May 1st. We'll be having a live stream feed on Facebook that you can tune into from 11 a.m. Pacific time to 1 p.m. Pacific time. But on a college campus, the exciting part of signing day is that you have all these incredible new young people who have just made a commitment to attend your university. So one of the things we know that is actually research and evidence-based is near-peer mentoring is critical. So asking your students, asking your faculty, asking your staff to post with hashtag College Signing Day and talk about why choosing that university has changed their lives, welcoming them to campus, and maybe giving them even a few tips on what they wish they had known before they came onto campus. You want to create this culture of celebration, of receptivity, and ultimately of helping lift up those folks, because we know that even for the students who get in, if you're first gen or low income, oftentimes you may not actually show up to college on day one. And that's something we call summer melt. So one of the things that your campus can do is not only celebrate and welcome, but use students, peers, and counselors to talk to young people directly. If you see someone who's posting and they've got the picture of your university, you should be responding to them, welcoming them, and actually giving them tips for what you wish you had known. We know that those little steps that connect a student to a campus before they show up on day one is critical so that they aren't part of those summer melt statistics.
Well, that's interesting. Using Reach Higher not only just as student development, but also as an admissions tactic is a good way to think about it as well for colleges and universities.
100%.
So can we host college signing days on our college campuses as well, like events and that type of thing? I know that you guys are handing out micro grants to high school groups and groups like that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So the grants are limited to high schools, but what I will say is oftentimes, first of all, everyone should host a college signing day event and everyone should sign up and register them. You may be intimidated. You think, oh, I see that Michelle Obama had 5,000 students in Philadelphia. She's hosting a rally with 9,000 students at UCLA. Please don't be intimidated by that. There is no college signing day event that is too small. If you are a school counselor at a high school and you've got 5 seniors and you want to make them feel special, that's a signing day event. You can have a cupcake party, a pizza party, a day where you're going to color and just let them take a photo in a fake Instagram booth where you say, hey, here's where I'm going. That's a signing day event. We want to know about it. We want to celebrate it. We want to celebrate those students. If you are a higher ed institution, you should absolutely be hosting a college signing day event. And again, as we mentioned, that can look a lot of different ways. That can be about bringing the current admitted students together and saying, hey, welcoming them to campus. That could be creating video messages from current students, from professors, from the president, from admissions officers, everyone saying, we want to show our pride and talk about why my school, your school, is so important and why you want to welcome this next class, the next class of incredible young people. I really think that you having that event, you hosting that, you reaching back into the high schools, the colleges, the counselor communities around you helps create that spirit of what's not just going to get those kids on campus, but what's going to help them have a vibrant experience once they get there and help them complete.
So as a communications professional, I'm completely impressed by how much you guys have utilized social media and digital strategy, kind of been spreading the word for Reach Higher. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that for you guys?
Yeah, this is really interesting. And I will tell you, 5 years later, now we seem like we're really smart. But 5 years ago, people weren't sure if this was the right strategy. And I will tell you, we actually did some market research and we knew that Gen Z, that the young people today, are not communicating in traditional ways. They are on their digital devices. In fact, they are digital natives who oftentimes have not just 1 or 2 screens up, but 3 or 4 screens up at the same time. So to reach them authentically, you have to be online. So if you're someone who's thinking about, oh, I don't know, is it really worth it to post a selfie? Is it really worth it to tag someone to post on a hashtag? This is where the conversation is happening. And if you're not doing it, I would argue that you're really missing out on your core demographic and the people that you care about reaching. So for us, it is our way of life that we have to be communicating on all these channels. And in fact, we know that really Facebook is more for the counselors than the adults and the parents, less for the students. They're more on Instagram. They're more on Snapchat. You know, we're actually, last year we reached out, we're working with a new platform called Twitch, which is where gamers actually are participating. Last year we had Ninja, who you may know as a famous Fortnite player, come to our college signing day in Philadelphia. We'll be having other Twitch stars come to our event at UCLA. But I will just tell you guys, having a digital strategy, saying that we're doing all these things online is actually critical to reach young people. And I would argue, if you're nervous about it, if you're not doing it, or if you want to do even more, the key thing that you can do is actually empower the young people on your campuses. I will go out on a limb and guess that you have someone on your campus who is both, you have lots of people on your campuses who are really comfortable online, but also actually who probably have created their own, what we would call their own following. They might be what we would call micro influencers. Maybe they've got 1,000, 2,000, 1,500 followers. And, that's not as much as someone who's got 1 million, but that's really impressive for a young person. And they've been thinking a lot about telling their story, building their brand. And gosh, think about what they could do for your college. So if you're worried about how to create an authentic digital experience for college signing day, if you think, oh, well, my professors don't know how to do it, or my faculty doesn't, you should be empowering your students. Your students are your best ambassadors. And what we discovered really through our digital campaign, Better Make Room, is that we need young people speaking to one another. That's how we build college-going culture. That's how we make this an incredible moment. And to your point, last year on college signing day, on May 1st, we had about over 1.2 billion hashtag impressions for hashtag College Signing Day and hashtag Better Make Room. We want to beat that this year, and we're going to do that by getting more young people engaged. Last year, we had about 2,250 events around the country. Our goal for our 5-year anniversary is to hit 3,000 events. We can only do that if all of you sign up, if you register your events, no matter how small, no matter how big. And I think it's incredible to have, in this time of occasional negativity online, to have a really positive celebratory moment like Reach Higher. And I will tell your listeners, if you're worried, May 1st is a great day to do it. That is the actual College Signing Day, and we want you posting online. But we know that communities around the country who want to host a big event or want to have a meaningful moment with an assembly or a rally, oftentimes they're hosting them as early as late April and as late as early June. So if you say, I know I'm going to post some pictures on May 1st, but I want to do something more substantive, please don't think that the deadline has passed you by. We're really excited to celebrate College Signing Days, actually the entire month of May, part of April, and part of June. So there are really wonderful ways for you to do it. Once you do it, I guarantee you, you'll keep on celebrating because it's that positive an experience.
It's great. And I'm really impressed by you guys have leveraged everything that we're all thinking about is, in digital and reaching this demographic when it comes to social media, but then also micro influencers. And then obviously you have some major influencers who you've used over the years to help get your message out. And I've been really impressed with the star power you guys have been able to leverage, obviously for Michelle Obama, but then all of her celebrity friends as well. Kind of what are some of the stories that you've seen from Reach Higher over the years that have really resonated with you, being able to pull in these great people, but also to be able to tell those stories as well?
It's really interesting, thinking about the 5-year anniversary. When we started Reach Higher, we went to a College Signing Day rally in San Antonio, Texas. This is 2014. Then Mayor Julian Castro, his community, they have signing day as the culmination of actually a week-long set of events where they're talking about college, from the preschool students, the middle school, the high school, the current adult population, the current college students. It's called Cafe College. And that entire week is a week of programming where they're really trying to have a community-based solution and goal around higher ed, because they know higher ed is the key to success for that community. So, that was an event that was just really a grassroots, a mayoral-led community, and we had Mrs. Obama. And then every year we sort of added on a little bit. Number one, starting in 2015, we began organizing events. We created our toolkits and our sign-up pages. And that's when we went from a couple dozen events to hundreds of events, and it kept on growing and growing. And same thing, every year we'd say, you know what? If we really want to celebrate education, if we really want to make education cool, and Mrs. Obama has said we should be celebrating students going to college the same way we celebrate the Super Bowl, let's get influencers engaged. And so in 2015, that was the first time we brought some celebrities to our event. We had Sierra come and speak at Detroit's College Signing Day with Coach Jim Harbaugh. And I will tell you, the interesting part about this for me is that what Mrs. Obama was really specific about, and we've continued to live up to, is that even though athletes, celebrities, influencers, musicians, many of them have had different educational experiences. Some, like a Jidenna, have gone to college at a place like Stanford. Some, like Wale, have done a few years and transferred a few years here and there. Some have not gone to college at all. But all of them, if they're willing to use their platform to celebrate education, to understand the luck that they've had and that they know education is still the best investment you can make in your future, that's what matters to us. And so I think sometimes people are always worried, like, oh, well, is this person allowed to celebrate? Is this person not? Everyone should be celebrating college. We don't want to discriminate. So that's been really exciting for us. So then what became a few celebrities really grew in our last year at the White House. MTV helped us co-produce College Signing Day in Harlem, and we had dozens. We had, I think, close to 40 celebrities come, including Robert De Niro, Melissa McCarthy, really, extraordinary people who said, I'm going to take time out of my day. I'm going to donate my time and my voice to help lift up and celebrate young people. And to me, what's exciting about that is the purpose isn't to say, oh, wow, this star cares about college. It's actually to say this influencer cares so much about you and your education that they want to show up and celebrate those students. And that, to me, is the cool thing. And these young people at these rallies then say, wow, I can't believe all these people showed up for us. And I think that's how we change the dialogue in the game in education. For the past 2 years, we've had Nick Cannon, who's someone who's been a very successful actor and musician. He's actually gone back to school at Howard University, and he's been hosting Signing Day with us. And he's just another example of people who say, I want to give my time and my energy to something bigger than myself. And so we're thrilled to be in Los Angeles this year on May 1st at UCLA. We're going to have performances from folks like Bebe Rexha and Pentatonix. We're going to have a whole list of really fun influencers there. But to be honest, what's more important to me than those celebrities is the students. And every single student who's going to attend a signing day, whether it's with Mrs. Obama or whether you're with your school counselor or whether you're on a college campus, that to me reminds me that we all have our own journeys we're talking about. And I think it's fitting that Mrs. Obama has been on her book tour. And her book tour, they use a hashtag, I am becoming, and it talks about people realizing their own journey. And what's critical if you read Mrs. Obama's story, and I would argue it's critical in the story of Reach Higher, is that education is critical for every young person and every person who's ever been successful in terms of how they became who they are. And the more we can do to help people understand that and then to give them the tools and the tickets to get that education, the better off we're going to be as a society.
Yeah, that's great. It seems like, oh my gosh, how many people do you guys even have working for you? That seems like you guys must be working day and night to get this all done. I'm very impressed by that.
It's always funny. People think that we are like an army of elves, that there must be like, hundreds of people on our team. The truth of the matter is we're a small but mighty team. There are 6 full-time members of the Reach Higher team. But we actually have a much broader coalition of folks who come and help us every year for College Signing Day. Some have been longtime partners. Some, are always coming on to help us depending on what city we're in. So we sort of bulk up for Signing Day and end up having a team that's closer to the teens. But it's still a small but mighty team that pulls this off, and we're organizing these events. But again, I want to give full credit to all the school counselors out there, the principals, the teachers, the college admissions professionals, people like you who are using your platform on Higher Ed Live to help us really try to build this movement. And we would not be here. We would not be, closing in on 3,000 events, or I'm thinking we're going to hit over, 1.2 billion impressions this year. But the more important number is the hundreds of thousands of students who are saying yes to a post-secondary experience. And I want to say something that we've learned throughout the years, and this is something that if you download our toolkit, you'll see. We recognize that sometimes the verbiage we use is important, and people get a little scared around College Signing Day. They think, well, do you mean community colleges? Do you mean trade programs? What about my students who are committing to a military, to serve in the military? And I want to say, number one is we define college as any post-secondary education. So that includes community college is college, trade school is college, serving in the military and getting a post-secondary education. We consider that part of your college experience and something we want to be celebrated at a College Signing Day. Some communities, Michigan, I think, is the one I know that does this the most. They actually use hashtag Decision Day because they want to make sure that we're honoring all decisions. If that's something that speaks to you more, well, I like to add up all the College Signing Day impressions. I understand, and we have tools in our toolkit that talk about that. But this is really meant to honor and celebrate all students. The last thing I'll mention about that in terms of the questions we usually get around signing day for folks who want to put one on is, what about my students who haven't made a decision or they're not sure if they're going to go to college? Are we making them feel bad? Is this wrong? How can I approach that? And like any moment, I think it's a teachable moment. And if there are students and families in your community that you're worried can't celebrate College Signing Day because they haven't made a decision or they're worried about how they'll pay for it, I would argue to you that Signing Day is just one moment, and great counselors, great schools, great communities are actually using Signing Day as just one part of a program that's a year's worth of activities. So if you've got a student you're worried about, Signing Day is a great opportunity to sit down with them and say, look, I know you haven't made a decision yet, or maybe you didn't apply, or maybe you weren't accepted, but here's all these incredible open enrollment schools I can tell you about. No one's going to hold you accountable, but tomorrow I want you to wear Cuyahoga Community College because that's a school we know you can go to. Or here's a trade program, or here's actually still more money that's out there in scholarships or state grants. So I just want to say that no matter what's going on in one of your students' lives, College Signing Day is still a time to be honest with them that a post-secondary education is still the best investment we can make. Folks who know me well and have listened to me give, do interviews or podcasts or webinars like this know that when I hear the question, is college worth it? I get a little frustrated. I get a little amped up because I think we know the answer. It's not a surprise. College is worth it. A post-secondary education is worth it. The jobs of the future of the knowledge-based economy require education past high school. So we need to be really honest with our young people, which means we as adults need to have the courage to give them the supports they need to be successful, not just to get in, but when they get on campus to get them to, through, not just to.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that you guys are embracing a very broad definition of college, because I think it is like working in a four-year college. It's you see sometimes college can be seen as a very traditional path, but I think embracing many different paths, I think, is something that speaks to the strength of the Reach Higher movement, and showing how inclusive and what a great grassroots community it's built, I think is really awesome. That's exciting.
We're really excited about it. And I will tell you, while Reach Higher was started as a program to really encourage young people to get to and through college, we know that today's college population is very diverse. And we've got a lot of adults who are coming back to school, adults who are parents who are going and getting their education, who are commuting. Going to college looks very different for so many people. And what's really fun for me, too, is that again, I encourage you on May 1st or throughout the month of May, if you're feeling sad, if you need to pick me up, put in hashtag College Signing Day into Twitter, into Instagram. Take a look, and you will see not just the incredible young people, not just the incredible adults who are telling you about their past experience. There are people who are, PhD students who are going to be the first in their families to get a doctorate, people going back to school for the first time, people graduating with a child, with a sibling, people who have all sorts of what we used to call non-traditional experiences, and I would argue is now just all part of the tapestry of what it means to go to college today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's really great to make everybody feel included in such an awesome day and use it as inspiration going forward, because I know that this time of year can be kind of scary for high school seniors, because you're about to go out into the world and brave new things, and I think it's exciting to be able to kind of rally and kind of feel that community that will find them after graduation. That's exciting. So where can people find Reach Higher? On social media? Like, where are you guys?
Great. I'm going to give you a few places to find us. You can go to www.reachhigher.org is our website. You can follow us online, which is where we're posting constantly. If you go to Twitter, we are at Reach Higher. If you go to Instagram, we are at Reach Higher 2020. You can also follow our digitally faced campaign, which is really our peer-to-peer student campaign, which is Better Make Room. That's at www.bettermakeroom.org. At Better Make Room on Twitter and Instagram, and also both those pieces also on Snapchat. So we're everywhere. As I mentioned, one more time, I'll say our toolkit you can find, and where you want to sign up is www.bettermakeroom.org/college signing day. Again, if you haven't yet, you may think your shirt's ready, but go find it, go order it if it's not ready for May 1st. People sometimes go look and find it's got the hole from the moth, or they weren't ready. Find your college gear, find something you're proud of, get ready for May 1st. If you are a team that's worried you're not going to all be together on May 1st, take your photo tomorrow, next week, set up a team photo, and be ready to post on May 1st with hashtag College Signing Day and hashtag Better Make Room. Get your campus engaged. You'll be so surprised. Make it a digital social media contest. Who can post the best boomerang with hashtag College Signing Day? Who can make, is there something you want to do for your campus about what you're doing to celebrate it? It's an unabashedly positive moment, and I hope that all of you can take advantage of it, not just for your campuses, but ultimately to create this college-going culture in our country, which we know is so important.
Awesome. And I know here at Union we'll be celebrating College Signing Day, encouraging our Union alumni to share their experiences about what life at Union and how it changed them was. And our Union alumni certainly love to wear Union gear. So we'll be giving away free prizes for showing their Union pride all day. So celebrating College Signing Day that way.
Cool.
Anything else, Eric? I think we covered how to get in touch and everything for the folks watching at home. On the hashtag, we have shared multiple times the best links to get a hold of Reach Higher and the toolkit, which I think is really a great piece to easily help you get involved, making it so easy to just jump right in. So
Yeah, I think we've shared it all. Again, please, no matter what size of event or size of celebration, we really do want you to register. We want to hit those 3,000 events and show the country and the community just how much this movement has grown. So please, again, if you want, whether you're trying to get the Donors Choose money or you just want to show us that you're involved so we can count all your students and your communities, just go up and sign at www.bettermakeroom.org/college signing day. But I'm excited. I'm going to be posting a lot from my Brown University shirt, so you're going to see a lot of photos. Also, please tune into our Facebook account. If you follow Better Make Room and Reach Higher, we'll be posting on May 1st and live streaming Mrs. Obama's event, which will be a lot of fun. You'll get to see all those fun celebrities and performances, and we really want everyone to feel a part of this movement.
Very cool. Well, thanks as always, and a shout out to our program sponsors, Platform Q and M Stoner. Again, a huge thank you to my guest, Eric Waldo. Make sure to follow him on Twitter, EWWaldo, and also at Reach Higher, and follow along. And don't forget to share your photos on May 1st with #College Signing Day. Also, a big thanks to our Higher Ed Live viewers. Thanks again for watching, and have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.